Don't get cute.
Ring, ring, ring. Hello, sirs and derps, and welcome back to Krown's magical Boomer Cave.
Well. Welcome back to Krown's Crypto Cave. Holy fucking moly. Welcome to all the Mitch Ray people over here. We gotta get Mitch Ray on this goddamn channel. Please respond. Mitch Ray on parade, baby. Let's fucking do it. I want to get him on here, right now. Maybe a little bit later, actually, because today's not the best day for that. But we actually have something very fucking important to talk about today. Extremely important. And by the way, welcome to all the new people here right now. Something incredibly important has happened. A new opportunity, actually. And this is not just clickbait bullshit talking right now, but actually this is one of the few times where I will really bring out something that I feel quite strongly about. So with that said, I would like to wish you the best and the happiest. So let's get into it right now. Let's waste no more time because there's all so much to do on a very, 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 very important Friday today. And what do we have going on right here? We do see on the Krown application would be found at app.krown.net, and by the way, that is 100% free, and there's a link to the description below. We do see Bitcoin dominance actually continuing to come down as Ethereum does lead the party. So do we have a major reversal here or not, or is it just another higher low? I think that it would be a good day to check in on that. But more importantly, Fear and Greed Index back around 50, which is more or less neutral and does kind of, align with price action right here as Bitcoin essentially regains 40,000 bucks, and Ethereum has a pretty nice move yesterday, actually, all things considered. And this is even more important once we start to go into the underlying market dynamics right here as well, as Bitcoin global funding rate is still pretty much par for the course. It's actually a little bit below there at not actually 76%, which is nothing to be too to be too down about, of course. You're not really paying all that much to hold your Bitcoin long is essentially what it means. And that is what you kind of expect, it coming into a range like this after putting in, a very, very nice bear trap right around that $30,000 level. Anyways, on top of that, open interest also sprucing up as well. Just exactly what you want to see with Bitcoin putting in another move to the upside as it is supported with new positions. And we do see that global exchanges net flows is more or less flat here. It is technically positive, yes. So people are putting their coins onto exchange, but overall, the big focus is on the leverage ratio and, of course, the exchange reserves as well, both of which are initiating downtrends, it looks like. And as we have seen in the past, when this has entered into a bit of an uptrend, we have seen Bitcoin essentially put in its major highs and vice versa for the downtrend for upside moves. All the way on the fourth page over here, I'm curious what we see right now. Holy fucking shit. I was not expecting this at all, actually. We do see, first and foremost, hash rate, big move to the upside right there. Big move to the upside. No, hash rate went up a lot, but it's going to play into our analysis. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. The big bad thing to be paying attention to right now. And then also the whale ratio is absolutely shattered right here. So what do we have? We have a lower high in progress. And if this starts to enter into a downtrend, that would be extremely good for a long-term, potentially a long-term move here. Anyways, unfortunately, because we did start data mining this as of, I think, just a couple weeks ago, actually about a month ago here, going back to about early May, we don't have the full history for this, but if we did, we could be able to show that this is pretty damn consistent over a long period of time. So with that in mind, without further ado, we need to get into the most important thing that we're going to talk about today. It's here, my friends. It is here. Kind of. I need to titrate this statement down a bit, but we're going to go into it right now. And what do we fucking have? Oh shit. Bitcoin Bula is going to be happy about this one right now, as we do technically have a blue buy signal. But you might be asking, Krown, how did you make this happen? Well, I just played around with the with the inputs on this, of course. But there is something incredibly important to be aware about this. Now, first and foremost, let me show you the settings of what I'm using right now. I want to give a big shout out to Patrick C for sharing these on the Discord earlier yesterday, and I've gone ahead and back tested it, and we'll just show the results and you can make the decision for yourself. Now, Mr. Caprioli himself, the creator of this indicator, has actually come out and said on Twitter, I believe, that he believes that a full-on signal with his settings could be happening as soon as next week, assuming that things more or less hold here and perhaps even go to the upside as well. But what I'm using right here is it's a 28 and a 55, so it's a little bit faster. But what I can show you is the history of this signal here, and it actually has been pretty damn good. But as I said, make the decision for yourself. I'm not here to be, your dad or anything like that. Obviously, at the end of the day, you make your own decisions, but we can go back in time and see how this has more or less worked. And as you can see, first off, there is a slight discrepancy with some of the signals in the past, and this is, by the way, the default, the default settings on this pane over here. This is the settings that I'm using right now to produce this blue buy signal. So it is a little bit of a manipulation right there, but we have seen, we have seen a very consistent overlay with this. Most of these signals are pretty much around the same day, if not the same day as the default signals. And the only signal that is present, on the new settings down around here that is not present on the prior is actually this one right here. And this one right here did not necessarily operate in the exact same in the exact same way as we kind of expected it to before. Basically, that blue buy signal did confirm that the prior daily low was the macro low before never going down there again. Technically speaking, if we do go into this one, And this would be a good counterpoint to what I'm saying, to be fair. However, I do think, once you kind of see the result, well, you might have a different idea on that. Technically speaking, the prior daily low would have been right here, right? I mean, Bitcoin was in an uptrend, and we did come back down below that one. But realistically, I'm sure if we went to like a 2-day or 3-day, this was probably the realistic higher low before that. And of course, that one was not taken out to the downside, and more or less Bitcoin did, well, never go down after that. Below that region. So more importantly, if we do go further back in the history of time, there's another signal right here that I didn't mark off before as well. This one obviously does work out, and I think other than that, that's pretty much it. We had a slew of signals over here, but they all operate in the same vein as well. So this is consistent enough for me, I would say. And while this does set in the bias that Bitcoin very likely does have a macro low in place, make no mistake about it, this does not mean that Bitcoin can't come back down to the low $30,000 territory. In fact, I would say that that's probably rather likely to happen. Somewhere down around about $32,000 to $34,000 is fair game in my opinion over the next month or two, but I will have the bias, assuming, especially if we do confirm this one as well, that I would be looking for long-term positions around there. Now, of course, this is not financial advice, I'm not a financial advisor. I just want to present the data as it is, and then you make the decision for yourself. But I do think that that's rather compelling, and the history of this signal has been good enough, at least in my opinion. And there's one thing that I just want to double check before we go on further. What price action did this one come in around? Yes, okay, so it was $3,000. So technically speaking, when we dig at the signal over here, Bitcoin did actually not go below the prior low. If we look at this one right here, to be fair, we got pretty fucking close to it in 2018, 2019, but as you can see, did not trade underneath that ever again. So the only one that did not work out, the only one that actually did not work out was way back on over here in coronavirus dumb times. You might call that a black swan event. I know that actually Nassim Taleb says that it's not a black swan event. Regardless of that, well, that is the one iteration out of, I believe, 13 or 14 now, depending upon which settings that you use, that did not work out in that essence. And to be fair, I mean, it did kind of come back later on, but overall, I think that does need to be solidified in there, because that would be a rather compelling statement, and that does set in a lot of biases for the next 2 months. Now, I still do believe that Bitcoin is, more or less going sideways within this range between about $30,000 and $45,000. And short term, are we looking good over here? Yeah, I do believe so. As we do come into the end of this week, we will be seeing CME weekly closure in just about 15 hours, 51 minutes, and 47 seconds right here. And as it stands right now, are we about to open and close our first weekly dildo above the 21 exponential average? Yes. Is this the most confidential close right here? No, it's not. So what are we looking for by end of day? If I do want to see this continue onwards to the $45,000 level, I actually really want to see Bitcoin take out the 30th of July high right here. Whether we do that or just close back above about $41,000 on a daily for CME, no other exchange, then I would be looking for Bitcoin to make a leg up probably into next week, somewhere around the same areas that we've been looking for. Very, very likely this gap fill right around here. And that would be a great place to put in a bit of a high and then come back down and perhaps put in that next major low. Perhaps that happens, maybe later this month or sometime in September. But overall, that would be my bias, especially if we get the full-on buy signature on the default settings, which are a little bit more tested and a little bit more tried and true, as well as you did see next week. That would be kind of like the glorious, picture perfect utopian signal right there, at least for myself, if I do want to trade for a long term. But I don't really do that. And for what it's worth, I am still running the same sort of positions over here, of which I'll probably edge into a few positions long term for my testnet account. Again, for anyone who's new here, this is a testnet account. This is not real money. Of course, US citizens cannot trade on real Durbit, so I'm just using testnet right here, just to kind of showcase what I would be doing with these options, because they are pretty fucking fun to play. And this is a bit of an ode to my former life. And honestly, there's if you really want to have an edge in cryptocurrency right now, the edge is informational with options, because people don't know how to price these things right now. And I would feel the same way. I used to be a market maker authorized trader, and I would have nightmares of trying to price this bullshit over here. I mean, you can already see it, represented in the markets. I mean, the BBO is like so fucking wide, you could drive a fucking truck through it. So it would be a nightmare. I don't know how the market makers do it, especially when you don't have a centralized like clearing agency as well, because there's not anything like that exists in cryptocurrency land. So, take that as you will. Anyways, what I'll probably do, or what I'll probably end up doing, is I'll probably end up buying one of these far outs over here, because if Bitcoin actually does have the macro low in, what is likely to happen probably around 2022, beginning of 2022, maybe even end of this year, probably do test around the prior time high. So I will very likely set up that if and when Bitcoin does come back down for that higher low. Again, it looks to me like Bitcoin very likely wants to fulfill the $45,000 to $48,000 level first, which we can throw in right here, which is also the 618 Fibonacci retracement on a bearish retracement, that is, and a very likely short-term long-term bull trap area right there. And then if we come back down and fulfill this region down around here, that would be, that would just be glorious and very fucking textbook now, wouldn't it? But that's going to imply that we still have some more time waiting. So make no mistake about it. It's not a pertinent signal right now. I received a really interesting comment, or a really good comment to kind of reflect upon yesterday, where someone basically said, when we get that blue buy signal on the hash rate indicator, do we just buy and go away? I mean, look, I'm not here to tell you what to do, but would that be a good timer of a buy? No, it's a terrible timer of a buy, actually. If you go through all the iterations, which you probably should do, instead of just listening to some fucking moron like me on YouTube, is you should see it for yourself and then judge, is that something that you'd be interested in or not? I would say for myself, absolutely fucking not. I'm also not much of a long-term trader, so you're asking a cat if he likes this dog bone, and I don't. I probably wouldn't. But overall, I still do like this area over here, and again, I would be essentially having a bias towards this area being tested probably within the next probably sometime this month, if Bitcoin especially either takes out, again, just ticks above the 30th of July high right here, that's 41,950 on CME specifically, or closes above about 41,000 and technically some odd change, like 150 or so. One of those two things would be good enough for me, and then yes, I would be looking for that move to happen. And we do see that momentum oscillators are more or less supportive of this as well. We do see that daily RSI on CME specifically just consulting right around the bullish control zone, which I quite do like over here. Can spend some more time obviously, but that is more or less constructive alongside price action, somewhat confirming your first higher low in a very long time, actually. Now we do have a higher high already with this guy over, this slew of highs right here, actually. So this would be our daily uptrend if that does get fulfilled, and I would be fully confirming that again if we do meet one of those two conditions that I just overlaid earlier. Or if you want to be a little more aggressive with it, you could probably look at this already from a major moving average perspective. This is looking more or less good, and if we do throw on the Gaussian channel, I'm curious if we see anything of particular interest right here. Yes, what do you know, we've regained the median band of this, and technically speaking, a lot of the time you're going to get a free ride to the top side, which is 43,500 or so, 550, which would be a short-term target, so to speak, perhaps even today, which I would be looking for a short-term pullback off of as well. Anyways, on top of that, is there anything else that we want to get into before we get into Ethereum? Because Ethereum actually is a little bit more of an easier and interesting chart right now. Maybe we look at the weekly Gaussian channel. Oh, what do you know, we're bouncing off the top side of it. Good, great, that's awesome. And we do see that weekly is going to have a chance to close above the exponential for the first time. This is actually kind of a big deal to me as well. I typically don't call these things out on this channel, but honestly, this is it's a very simplistic way of looking at things, and it actually works pretty fucking well, which is kind of hilarious. But basically, we've been trading underneath the exponential on the RSI ever since middle of February, in fact. So middle of February for Bitcoin was way on over here. Of course, we did put in the highs a little bit later, which did also come alongside of some bearish divergence on the weekly RSI as well. But overall, this is the first time that Bitcoin's actually had both an open and closure above it in, I guess, what is that, like 5 months now? 5-6 months, something like that. So what, February is the second month, we are on the 8th month, so yeah, 6, something like that. I don't really know my months because I'm American and we don't learn things that actually matter, but not that really matters because we have calendars. So fuck it, man, whatever it means, it's been a long time. How about that? There we go. Anyways, is there anything on the on the bi-weekly that we should be looking at? Because, oh no, that's actually not closing today, so never mind. That's not a very pertinent thing as well. Of course, we are going to see, very likely Bitcoin open and close its first weekly dildo above the 21 exponential average. I want to see this one get a positive slope on it. I do kind of believe in the weekly 21 meme. However, I think that people may kind of make it a little bit too simplistic. It's not just getting above it. You need to see both an open and close above it, and you need to see it with a positive slope. When you see that, that is typically your bullish market. And right now we have one of those things, in line, and in the next two almost there. It could be confirmed as soon as this Sunday for spot and as soon as today for CME. But I'd really like to see continuation today to really trade with confidence in that direction. But the 12-hour right here, this is very clearly already a confirmed higher low, so that is good. And we are on an uptrend for the first time in a while over there. And we do see that volatility is on the floor right here too. So this consolidation coming in while volatility is contracting, again, playing into our theory that, this is first and foremost healthy or constructive, or more or less to be considered as buys to the upside, as long as Bitcoin is holding that $37,000 level. And that condition is still very much the same here. In fact, we've gotten like what, two to three tries now. We've gotten more like 2 tries. So we got the same trade twice, which is kind of funny. Coming in from the last couple of days here, just basically this area right here. that we marked off. And what did we say? We basically said, hey, look, as long as Bitcoin holds this area, more or less good, more or less fine. This is just a higher low. It looks sloppy. It looks kind of ugly, but that's fucking Bitcoin, man. That's fucking Bitcoin. Bitcoin looks ugly and sloppy half the time, and then it just pulls through, and that's the magic of cryptocurrency land, I suppose. But yes, we could now use yesterday's spike low as a continuation point, meaning that as long as Bitcoin is above this region as well, you know, you could kind of get it both ways, meaning that is 37,240 on BitMexico, by the way. Any price action below there, and I actually would still be looking for Bitcoin to come back down and fill the gap to the downside on CME, somewhere around 33 to 33,500-ish region within, you know, a week or two, if that were to happen. It's not what I think is going to happen from here, but that would be, you know, my bias if we did see something of that, of that report. Should also be known on our momentum charts, we do see 12-hour Stokes actually having a fresh cross the upside for the first time in about a week and a half now, and will remain to the upside as long as above about 38.1. So we do see that momentum plus volatility looking like they kind of want to turn in the same direction here, which is good. Again, for trend continuation. Go down to the 4-hour time frame. What do we see? Oh, what do you know? It's rejecting getting out of the bullish control zone right here. This is good, and it will be remaining to the upside as long as we're above where 38,600. So this is actually suggesting that short term we very likely do trade to or it's not suggesting that short term we do go up, although it actually is kind of saying that. It's suggesting that, you know, we are, if we are going to put in a higher low right here, it's very likely to start to move to the upside, like, you know, within the next 24 to 48 hours, I would say. Anyways, so we can all see that we are going to be coming in line with this trend line right around here. And if we actually do break that to the upside, then that would be a pretty damn good indication that Bitcoin is going to work its way into the mid $40,000 territory, maybe even deep $40,000 territory. But again, I do express a lot of concern, a lot of caution in that area as well. So make no mistake about it. I'm not calling like a move back up to fucking $50,000, $60,000. I think that's, you know, still well and far away. I think it's still going to take a long time. Best case for bulls still is, you know, most of summer, which we've already gone like three quarters of summer, pretty much doing what you would expect if this is going to set in a macro base. You know, what's another month and a half? So it's still going to take some time, but this is a good setup here. And for all the people who are paying attention during these, you know, very relevant or relatively quiet times, you know, that's usually the times of most potential opportunity long term in this asset, as we have seen in the past. I mean, that's just markets in general. But anyways, going through the other lower term time frames, we see pretty much the same thing. Oh yes, we do. 3 hours, same thing right around here. By hourly showing what? Actually twisting down, but will twist back up with any sort of a closure above 40,900, and hourly is doing the same thing as well. So a little bit of a short term sideways, and medium term time frames kind of setting up right there. So I do like that. Anyways, do we see anything of particular obviousness over here on our trending charts? No, not really. It does show a natural medium term resistance right around about 43.5. So, you know, if you do see a move to 43.5, I would be looking for a short term pullback from there, and then very likely does set it up for a move next week, perhaps into the deeper $40,000 territory. Again, anywhere around this region right here, though, I am looking for a pullback on the higher term timeframes actually, and that's going to be the real test in my opinion. Anyways, what else do we want to check out before we get into Ethereum? I think that's perhaps it. Oh, I do want to show this as well. Okay, I think this is rather important, right? So everyone's talking about this. Everyone's talking about this. How do I even explain this? I don't know how to explain this. Look, I retweeted this tweet because it sounded smart. There we go. That's a real reason. No, what's going on is basically there's an infrastructure bill being passed in the in the U.S. political system. How do you fucking explain that to someone who's not a U.S. citizen? I don't know. It doesn't matter. But basically, there are some like contingencies with this infrastructure bill that are relevant to the cryptocurrency landscape that make it really, 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 really difficult for crypto companies in the U.S. to basically operate in any reasonable manner. Like, it's going to make it so that miners and validators and exchanges and everything are just going to be faced with a fucking litany of papers to fill out anytime that they do any sort of business at all. I mean, it's going to make it virtually impossible and probably just price the U.S. out of the whole goddamn crypto economy, if I had to guess. Anyways, I retweeted this tweet over here. You might be interested in calling up if you agree with this. Obviously, I mean, this, you're entitled to your own thoughts, duh. But if you are interested in such things, then you might want to check this out and perhaps take action on it as well, especially if you live in the U.S. because that's probably relevant to you. By the way, a little bit of a misnomer. It's not Elizabeth Warren who's spearheading the new amendment that's actually very dangerous. It's some other Warren guy. Just so you know, because there apparently seems to be like a lot of animosity with that and people getting that one wrong, which is kind of, I don't know, it's crypto, man. It's fucking funny. Anyways, okay, cool. All right, so we've gotten through all of that. What else do we want to talk about before we move on? Let's talk about Ethereum, and then we'll get in some comment section over here, and let's see, what is Ethereum doing? Oh, what do you fucking know, man? We're playing out that hidden bullish divergence that we identified at the end of last week, and actually the week prior on top of that. So 1, 2, 3 drives right there. Oh, what do you know? Weekly RSI back above the exponential as well. We have hit pretty much our first set of targets on this one, right around about 2,900. And let's just throw in our nice little blue boxes of peace and prosperity right here. I would be looking for a pullback off this region, kind of as we said before as well. But that pullback, I would be looking first and foremost for a higher low, specifically on the daily time frame, and then perhaps maybe later this month or into September, I would be looking for a move. Actually anywhere around about 33 to 3,400 bucks, assuming that Ethereum can basically close a daily either above about 2,950 or a weekly where we need to close weekly anywhere above about 2,750 actually for a weekly. And then yes, I would look for that move to happen. Pretty damn simple chart right here. Nothing too crazy with this one. I mean, usually the easiest, most most profitable trades are the most obvious ones. I think that this kind of fits the bill for that, and we can look at it from a momentum perspective as well over here. Let's see what we got going on our higher term time frames. 12-hour, what do you know? Twisting back up, looking good, trending above all of our super guppy averages right there. I am using different settings for this, just my own, but it's not too much different. You're not going to get anything too much different from the stock settings. Daily, same thing. What do you know? Just trending to the upside. 2-day, same thing. 3-day, what do you know? Same thing as well. 5-day, looking good as well, although still another couple days left to go. And then of course we got the weekly closing. Technically speaking, for Ethereum futures today, which should greatly influence. I can't fucking speak right now. Didn't get enough sleep last night, but should greatly influence spot price action as well. And by the way, remember, we did see that weekly Stokes on Ethereum did cross the upside for the first time in a few months here as well, going back to basically late April, early May. So that is of significance, again, alongside essentially a higher low being put in, and also RSI divergence being identified as well, and just generally a nice and healthy move right there. Anyway, short-term timeframes, do we see a pullback in the interim? Perhaps yes. I don't really have a strong opinion on that. You got higher lows as long as you're above this area right here. I know that someone's going to say, but Krown, what about this one right here? No, I wouldn't consider that one, or at least I wouldn't trade off that one right there. So Ethereum can come all the way down to like 2,600 and really not do anything of particular interest to myself. It's kind of like Bitcoin at 37,500 or so. I'd say the same area for Ethereum would be about 2,450, and it's been pretty damn consistent for the past, actually for this whole week actually. So as long as we're above there, you know, short-term downside moves, I'd probably be looking for moves to maybe like 2,650 would be an area of interest, and then about just below 2,600 or so. But I would not try to lose sight of the trees and the forest, or whatever the fuck that saying is, because the higher term timeframes are really taking over right now, and short term timeframes, while you will see an ebb and flow there, obviously, as you naturally do, nothing could just go straight to the upside, as you probably already know, especially if you've been in this market for even just a year or two now. You know, I'd probably be looking at that as an opportunity. I mean, this still looks pretty damn good to me. And the monthly is actually shaping up to be decent as well. In fact, now, of course, it's way too early in the month to really, you know, give this one its due diligence. But if we could come up with an area for general continuation here as well from a Bollinger Band perspective, actually pretty damn easy. Any sort of a daily closure above the top side Bollinger Band, once again, which would be about 2,950 or so, especially if it's like 3,000 bucks. And yes, I would look for maybe next week, perhaps the week after that, to trade up somewhere north of 33 to 3,400 bucks. Very likely a pullback from that region, then come back and assess after that. All right, cool. I think I've spoken your faces off. I apologize about that. I know that's fucking annoying, but a lot of things to talk about today. A lot of things to talk about, and some pretty damn interesting things. So hopefully that was in some way useful. And let me get into the comments now, and let's see what we got going on. Again, I do want to actually reiterate this point. While the higher term timeframes are looking really, really good, understand that the lower term timeframes, you will see an ebb and flow there, but the bases for where it kind of like switch around my opinions on this, and perhaps you might consider that as well, are very much the same. It's just now that Bitcoin and Ethereum moving to the upside, they're further and further away, so there is more risk in these sort of trades. And again, Ethereum 2,450, Bitcoin 37.5. Take that as you will. All right, cool. And hold on, I should also note, if Ethereum were to take out 2450 to the downside from this area, where would I be looking for? I'd actually be looking for a higher low somewhere around about 21 to 2200. In fact, somewhere around there would be where I'm looking for. Not necessarily the same goddamn move, but over time. But again, not necessarily biased towards that happening right now, but does need to be described as well. You know, weird things do happen now, don't they? All right, BK, there he is. I beat Scott. You beat him? Like, she should go to jail, man. Hey, Krown, I'm looking for a good entry on GHST. BUSD on Binance, please, sir. Okay, I got you, man. GHST. Whoopsies. Let's see what this one's doing, because this one was doing pretty damn good this whole week that we've been kind of keeping an eye on it. Let's see how it's doing right now. Consolidating around the highs, kind of flagging out, currently speaking. I'd really want to see the weekly close after this one. I mean, this one's had a pretty fucking nice run now, hasn't it? Have we hit our upside targets? No, we haven't hit the full-on totality of the upside targets just yet. So perhaps a short-term or medium-term sideways consolidation. You got higher lows as long as you're especially above about 164, 165 or so. Wouldn't mind a short-term move down to about 176. Put in another higher low right there. I'm sure that someone's going to say, but Krown, what about this one right here? A little bit shallow, to be fair and realistic. I'd want to be operating off of, you know, some more formidable timeframes, as that is just a 4 hour at the end of the day. But yeah, if this one did come down to 175, I'd be looking for a higher low somewhere right around there, and then continuation very likely into next week towards those more upside targets. Perhaps about 230, anywhere between about 230 and 240 looks good to me. This one, very interesting. I don't know what the hell this thing is. Don't know what the hell this thing does. It trades on Binance and it trades against BUSD, so that's probably a bad signal, but fine for now, I suppose. Fine for now, man. The shitcoins pump the hardest, or maybe this one isn't a shitcoin. Maybe this one's the most legit one of all time. Perhaps, who knows? Who knows indeed. All right, Band Man Dan says, much love, Krown. Mitch Ray sent us here. My man, my fucking man, Mitch Ray, please rage out, or can we need to figure out a way to like convene, man. I've been trying to do this for a while now, and it's just something always comes in the way. We can make a song about Mitch Ray. How would you like to sing it? Would you like to do the chorus? Hey man, that's awesome, brother. That's awesome. King Cosmic says, Bernie Sanders voice, I am once again asking for SPY 1 hour in daily. You know what's the biggest fucking scam, man? Politics. And let me explain this. Politics is not like an actual scam, but I signed up for Elizabeth Warren's, like, I'm not like a proponent of her or a hater of her. I just signed up for her like mailing list, and every fucking day she sends out an email asking for like she asks for like a contribution, $2 or more. It's like, it seems so fucking manipulative. It's like, what are you using this for? They just move on to like the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. It's like, you didn't give me a goddamn update on what you did on the one prior to that. What the fuck was that? Anyways, we can go look at this over here. All right, what do we have? Oh, we have new all-time highs. That's crazy. That's fucking weird. What did we say yesterday? It said very likely new all-time highs, consolidation at a high level, and this is going into the weekly close as well. It's the market that never goes down, man. I know that this looks absolutely ridiculous, looks absolutely crazy, but I would be still looking for new all-time highs. The weekly RSI has been it's been kind of the key in this one as of recent times. Lovely consolidation right in the bullish control zone. We even have a bit of an inverted head and shoulders right there as well. So I'd be looking for this to very likely transpire into next week, maybe the week after that. Short term, do we have a downside move down to about 44.05? Perhaps yes, but I'd be looking at that as an opportunity. Nothing bearish to be said about this chart at all whatsoever, as long as we are above 43.65 spike low right there. And you know, if that did get taken out to the downside, I'd probably be looking for a move down to 4,300, but I'm not saying that that's what's happening right here. This is very obviously a bullish chart. Again, consolidation on low volatility right here, and closing on new all-time highs in a very lovely consolidation. I mean, that you might call that strength. You might call that strength right there. Looking good, man. I know that you asked about an hourly, so we can look at an hourly specifically. Hourly is a little bit less obvious to me. I think Nasdaq probably is a more obvious one, as it did yesterday. But if it wants to have a short-term downside move like 14.14 or even 14.10, that's completely fine. But coming into next week, I'd still be probably looking for new all-time highs, barring any sort of a disastrous turnout today. And keep in mind that this is probably going to be running off of the infrastructure bill vote. I think that there's a lot of posturing around that right now. I think it's a little bit easier to see right here too, in Indus right here. Actually, it's a little bit less bullish in this one right here, so that is kind of getting priced in as, a little bit of animosity going on. But I suspect if and when that bill gets passed, which is kind of like a must-pass bill from what I understand. And again, there's going to be a lot better people with the legality of these sorts of things than me, especially probably in the comment section as well. So please do let your thoughts be known. But it sounds like it's kind of a must-pass bill to me, so very, very likely it does go through, I'd imagine. And that's going to, once again, prop up this goddamn stock market. Everything's bullish for the stock market. Hey, guess what? You know what? You want to know the real thing to be bullish on is the Fed asset sheet, the Fed balance sheet just continuing to expand. As long as that continues to expand, which it is, kind of have to be bullish, I suppose. Crazy times, my friends, crazy times. Again, I'm not saying that this doesn't look ridiculous. It does, and at some point it will have like a 10 to 20% correction. But for right now, no, I don't think so. All right, Krishna Ganapathy says burger USDT burger. I need to get in these damn what are they called? NFTs. Yeah, I need to get in these damn NFTs, man. I'm having FOMO with them. I keep on seeing them all around Twitter, and I feel like I don't know what they are really. They just look like pictures to me that are worth a shit ton of money, and I feel like I need one now just by reading them all. My man Elio Trades has got me on the train now. I don't even know what the hell I'm looking at. Don't even know where to get one. Doesn't matter. I want one. I definitely want one. What is this thing looking like right here? It looks like a piece of steaming garbage, actually. Only goes down, but the rest of the market is kind of going up right now. Short term probably would be looking for another try back around 490, that 55 right there. You know, most of the market is trying a bit of an upside move, and I expect that this one very likely falls as well. This one's just not as strong, I would say, but we do see that it actually has taken out your 15th of July high right here, so that is of significant in my opinion, and very likely does push through. Again, probably gonna imply that we need to see Bitcoin and Ethereum do the same thing as well, but assuming that they do, then I'd probably be looking at a target towards about 5.5 to 5 3/4 or so. Do we see anything of obviousness on the short-term timeframes? Yeah, where's our high or low coming in around about 409? As long as whatever this thing is, burgers are above this region, which is that's even more expensive than a goddamn McDonald's burger. So you're getting ripped off, sir. But as long as we're above that, you know, I'd kind of give it the benefit of the doubt. Short-term probably does trade back down, however, but I'd be looking for a higher low first and foremost. Anywhere below here, however, that analysis goes out the window, and I'd be looking for this one to keel on over again, back down to like mid $3. Anyways, what else do we have? CG3 says OHM DAI sushi. Okay. All right, let's see what we got here. OHM DHI sushi swap. My swap is WAP. Sounds so fucking stupid. I'm Ben Shapiro and fucking WAP. Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Oh man, it seems like she has a medical condition and she just doesn't even know that her pussy is too wet. And now I've spoken to my wife, who's also a doctor, and she says that she definitely has an issue and she could get checked out by a doctor. Ha 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 ha.
Like, Jesus fucking Christ, man, you are insufferable. Okay, what are we looking at right here? We are looking. Oh Jesus, get those out of my face. You said 1 hour and up, so like every time frame ever. I think not, sir. I'd probably be looking for short-term continuation about 490 or so. This one's kind of reversing right here. Hourly is in a bit of an uptrend. 4, I believe, is reversing right. Yep, it is. And what about daily? Yeah, daily, I'd like to see a close above the 21 in this case, 475, and then probably extend targets into next week, somewhere around like 525 to 530 or so. Technically speaking, it is in a daily uptrend and does look significantly different than a lot of other things that we have seen as far as altcoins go. Weekly is not too obvious for me, so I think I'll just kind of, I think I'll kind of avoid that time frame for right now, but you know, you have a very obvious area to get bearish on, and that would just be below your 435 region. Until that happens, I'll just go with the trend. We do see 4-hour jewels actually giving a pretty damn good buy signal right there. Cyan also being supported by AutoFib turning green. Good. So yeah, I'd probably be buy to the upside, very likely back around 490 to 500 bucks, and come back to it next week, I suppose. All right, cool. Ash Roberts says, hey again, what's up, man? Or girl. I don't know. Ash could be Ashley, and Ashley could also be a guy or a girl. It could be anything, really. I don't know. I want to be respectful. QNT, USDT, 4-hour and 1-hour. Okay, this is Quant, and this one was a pretty damn good chart from what I remember, like last week when we last looked at it. Something like that, and I think we need to go to Derp coin for this one. I didn't even ask about it daily, but I'm just curious where it is. Okay, it is kind of important to understand where it is long term. Looking pretty damn good over here. Yes, it isn't a pretty aggressive move, absolutely, and I don't think that this one has too much further to go. But does it have another upside move? Very likely, yes. This is still looking good on a 4-hour. Looking at this 4-hour RSI, telling the story on this one, and 4-hour Jules giving a bit of a short-term sell signal, but I do suspect that is going to get averted. I don't see the AutoFib supporting that anyway, so I'd still probably be looking for another push to the upside, probably some new all-time highs. I don't really have targets to give on this thing because I don't think that there's a good way to do it. Maybe a weekly might suggest something. I mean, weekly is very obviously bullish. So yes, I'd be looking for all-time highs. I don't have any targets for something like this, but it does look very, very good. Still, hourly is obviously an uptrend, hidden bullish evidence right here. I'd be looking for this one to probably make another run up towards 183, probably even today. No reason to be bearish on this thing as long as it's above about 160, and I suspect that that one's going to do pretty damn good into next week, perhaps. J3F says Terra USD. What's up, man? 4 hour, hourly, and daily. Much love to you as well, sir. All right, Terra. What is this thing? What is this thing? Terra, huh? Oh, this is Luna. Is this? Wait, what the fuck? Hold on. Terra versus Terra USD. This seems bizarre. Terra versus USD. Okay, certainly it's got to be one of these things. What the fuck is this, man? Hey, sir. What? I think Terra is. God damn it! I've been fucking trolled again. I think it's a stable coin. I think it's a stable. You bastard. You bastard. You bastard. I'm pretty sure it's stablecoin, it looks like. All right. Hey, what's up? What's up, Megan Hutchinson? What's up, Buried Alive? I see you over there. I see you. I see Elsa in the chat, but just ignore her. She is... Oh, we got Caretaker. What's up, man? And Bitcoin Beats. What's up, Hamilton? Oh, man. It's lovely to see everyone here today. Sorry. I appreciate you and respect you. You're a very powerful woman. You are independent and very strong. Anyways, Nico Senpai says, "Hey Krown, hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well and feeling well. Thanks, man. I appreciate that and hope you are as well. AMD, where support on the breakdown got 112 puts any tomorrow. Okay, let's check it out. All right, so you're holding these puts until expiration. I am usually never a fan of that. However, if you okay, so this is gonna be expired. So basically they're expiring today, Friday. And you are, okay, how much do you buy them for? That would be relevant if you're going to hold them to expiration, because they're only going to be worth parity, you know. I do think that this one probably does trade down on the day, but are you going to be in profit or not? That's a real question. That I'm not so sure about. You know, depending upon how much you paid for that premium. Hold on, you bought 112 or 110? No, 112. So you're still about 35 cents away from being in the money, but then you still got your premium on top of that. I really do not like holding things till expiration for this reason, but I wouldn't be surprised if this one does have moved down to like 108 today, or today being Friday, that is. Let's see what the hourly looks like right here. Hourly is actually consolidating. Hourly is not bad. Hourly is not bad right there. 12 hour, not giving me too much on that one. Is there any other good time? What about a 6 hour? 6 hour, Look, I don't think you're going to be on the right side of that trade, to be honest with you. If it does trade to the downside, I think best it does is like 108, 109 or so. And this is why I do not hold premium to the end of the day. Hourly just looks like a higher low right here for what it's worth. So it really depends what you're looking at. In fact, hourly momentum oscillator suggests that this is very unlikely trading lower today. Or it's not that it's not trading lower, but it's not closing lower. So that is something that you have to consider. As it sounds like you are going to be holding this until literal expiration. So not something that I would suggest doing. But again, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, and well, fair enough. I'll just leave that right there. It's Luna. Oh, it's Luna. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, yeah, we can look at Luna. The old Luna over here. Luna's tuna looking good. One of the better altcoin charts, actually. This is probably exactly what you want to see on something like Bitcoin, in fact. You know, holds at 200 right here. All major movement averages switch around to a bullish posturing. Golden cross right here, retested on the 10 simple. Good. This, I'm not necessarily certain that it's ready to go today, but I would be looking into the next week that this one very likely does test back around your $20 highs or so coming in from early April. This is actually pretty nice right here. Weekly RSI, also telling the story as well, back in the bullish control zone. I would look for that first tick in there to very likely get pushed back on, but that's more or less a setup probably later this month or maybe next month, which we should probably look at the monthly for this one. Yeah, it's pretty damn decent right there. Definitely one of the better altcoin charts we've seen. 4 hours actually immediately bullish right here too, which is rather good. Again, on almost a fully contracted vault BBW period, our volatility indicator down around about 20 percentile. So it obviously could go lower, but I like the way that the hourly is operating right here. This one's already looking for expansion, so I suspect that this is going to come in direction of the current trend. I'd probably be looking for I'd probably be looking for this one to make a move, probably early next week, maybe even this weekend, but I don't feel as confident on that. Looks pretty damn good though. No reason to be bearish on this thing, especially as long as you're above like $11. But there you go, man. There you go. Luna looking good, sir. Lee Duran says, please have a look at B Pro. Okay. All right. Yeah, to answer your question, Nico, it looks to me like probably not, man. Probably not. it's going to depend on the regular market. You know, it's going to depend on this vote though, which I think. Okay, where's my fucking? Oh, I don't have my phone. Damn, I had it on my phone, but I think it was either like last night or tonight or over the weekend. Something like that is when the vote is, and that's going to probably drive the general market and that thing included. It's all kind of tethered together. Anyways, looking at B Pro, what time frames are we looking at? You just said have a look at it. We're looking at it, but no time frames given, so I don't know where to go with this one. Weekly looks okay. I mean, it's pretty damn good for an altcoin. This would definitely be relatively strong in comparison to a lot of the shitcoins that we could be looking at. You have a very easy way to be managing anything right here. Just your spike low on the 4th of August, anywhere below there at about 0.8 of a cent. And yes, I would be looking for this rally to fall back down to about half a cent, maybe even lower over time. But for right now, this is good. This is constructive. This is a higher low, and I would be respectful of that. 4 hour I think shows a little bit better right here. Short term probably does come back down to like 0.9 of a cent, but I would be looking at that as another higher low, and very likely does trade back up towards that 1.26 high of this rally thus far. And then I'd want to see what the rest of the market does, but probably does trade back up. I mean, this is a strong signature right here. Technically speaking, though, still lower highs on a weekly, so you know, take that as you will. But that hidden bullish divergence on the weekly did play out rather well, I will say. So easy portion of that moves over. Next targets would be actually just shy of about 2 cents right there, if it does play, but that's not happening anytime soon. That's probably like weeks away, if anything. Okay, cool. Nav Singh says, Krown, my sir, what's up, man? Alts don't seem to be doing well during the Ethereum Bitcoin rally. Actually, we just saw a slew of alts that were doing pretty damn well. So perhaps we're going to find some shitty coins right here. With that said, where do you see Matic heading during this rally to the $40,000 to $48,000 region? Well, we got a lot of assumptions and crystal ball thinking going on right there. So let's maybe bring that back a second here. Remember, you know, obviously I want to see confirmation of these next, of these next levels being taken out first. But Matic definitely a bit of a laggard here. This would be an example of, I wouldn't say it's relatively weak. I'd say it's par for the course right now. There's definitely a lot more weaker shit that we could be looking at. Probably doggy coin if I had to guess. Yep, I'm looking at its chart right now. Definitely not good. But looking at this thing, like, here's the assumption. Okay, the assumption is that that Bitcoin will go to 45 to 48,000 bucks. This is an unconfirmed assumption, just for what it's worth. But if that were to happen, where do we expect Matic to go to? We expect to go somewhere back around about 140, maybe as much as 150 to 155 or so. Looking at the weekly right here. I'm very much split on the weekly. I don't really have a strong opinion about this. It's not the most obvious chart in the world, and I don't like that, typically speaking. Monthly, I'm not getting anything that's too obvious here either. And if we go down to the lower term timeframes, we actually do get something that's rather obvious. So it is holding the uptrend right here. So I would expect that it probably does have an upside resolution short term and does test somewhere back around about 115. But that would not necessarily imply Bitcoin to 45 just yet. I think that actually imply higher targets for this one, which would be more around like 140 or so. So again, a little bit difficult right there, but this would be the next sort of short-term, medium-term target, assuming that the rest of the market does lead this, because this one's not going to be a leader within this market. This one's certainly a follower. And then of course, where could you get bearish on a short-term time frame? Anywhere below about $1 on a 4-hour closure. I'd say that is kind of the line in the sand for this one, and this one will fall over after that with targets back down below $1. But for right now, kind of have to err on the side of the upside, as shown by Bitcoin and Ethereum for what it's worth. Abbott Dynamics says politics equals a scam. It is actually a scam, man. Like what the fuck is that? People just give them money every second, and they don't even prove that they've done anything. Like what the hell? What the fuck? That would never work anywhere else. Like that's why these people have never run or usually have never run a business. It's like where else could you do that? Where else could you fucking do that? Hello, how are you? I'm doing all right, man. Hope you're doing all right as well. Over there in the US, man. It must be a crypto zombie session today. Nate said, hey, what's up, Nate? There he is. Haha. I miss you, my man. I miss you too, sir. I miss you too. Can you check out Apple daily latest monthly? All right, we got a Nate chart. Nate always brings the heat with traditional market charts that are looking good. And what are we looking at on Apple? Bullish. Oh, that monthly looks good, man. Nate, man, you just pay attention to whatever Nate's looking at. Apple, I'd still be looking for this one to pop up towards about 153 over the next probably sometime this month. Actually, still looks pretty damn good. What about the bi-monthly? Yeah, looking very good right there. I mean, this is again another crazy vertical chart. At some point, this one will have a massive retracement, but for right now, kind of have to still be bullish on this. This one, I mean, you can very clearly see from the volume signature that this one is starting to really, enter into the last portion of a parabolic rally. If I had to give my actual thoughts on where this market's going to probably top, probably going to be somewhere around the end of this year, if I had to guess. I actually do think that probably will happen, maybe like November, December, perhaps. But for right now, it's just a slow grind to the upside. And what do we have on a daily? We have an ascending triangle. We're at pretty much your all-time high. Not necessarily the most bearish thing in the world. I have nothing bearish to say about this as long as it's above about 144. Below there, yeah, you could probably look for a move back down to like 135 or so. But that's all higher lows on higher term time frames for the time being. So have to be respectful of that. At least that is one of my rules for myself. Of course, you may do whatever you want. Of course, as well as a free human being. Michael says ERSDL daily baby sir. All right, let's check it out. ERSDL. Oh, it's this is fucking thing again. God damn it. All right, daily. It's not the worst altcoin chart, to be fair. It really isn't. It actually has had a pretty good last couple weeks here, or actually last 3 weeks since middle of July, in fact. Not the most obvious though on the daily, on actually the 4 hour, it's a lot more obvious here. I would be comfortable just generally being looking for, for extension to the upside as long as it's maintaining above about 22 cents. That is your last higher low right there on a 4 hour. On a daily, where's your next target going to be to the upside if this one does continue? Short term, it'd be right around about 27.25 or so. Long term, if it really gets going, more importantly, above your 31st of July high, I'd be looking for an extension towards 33 cents, but that would take some time, I imagine. Not a whole hell of a lot of history on this thing to really give it like its due diligence, but I'd go with the trend here. Actually, the 4 hour is probably going to get this one a little bit better and still looking more or less healthy here. Again, if we do or if this thing takes out 22 cents to the downside, I would look for this one to come down significantly down around 16 and a half to 17 cents. But for right now, holds rather well and doing decently, all things considered, for an altcoin especially. But still, all eyes are actually mostly on Ethereum right now. Bitcoin, obviously being a little more of an obvious chart as well, is going to influence that greatly too. But both of those, I look at it as kind of like driving the market, and then that kind of allows, opens up the venue, opens up the roads for something like that, generally an altcoin, to kind of follow through as well, perhaps. What's up, Pablo South? Bonjour, mon ami. How you doing, man? Can you look at Nucor hourly daily? Yes. Okay. This is the slug that keeps on keeping on, but we still appreciate it. I am a slug. That's right. My worm is very powerful, sir. Get ready. Short term. Okay, so what did we say last time? I believe actually last time we looked at it somewhere right around here. I said it'd very likely come back down just right below $100, and I'd still actually be sticking with that. I'd be looking for higher lows anywhere between about 96.5 to 99 or so. Probably a little bit more towards the downside of that equation, right down around about 96.25 to 96.5. But I would be looking for a higher low around there. And remember, long term, this one's very fucking good. I know you don't ask about the monthly on this one, but I think it's really important to kind of reflect upon, because this is a blue sky breakout, this consolidation above your last prior macro high. I really, really like that. But short term, does it come down? Yes, very likely does come down. I'd say about 98. Very likely fills the gap, probably a small bounce there, and then probably does come back down, maybe a little bit lower coming into next week. In fact, we should probably look at the weekly. Yeah, weekly actually suggests that we probably do come back down, maybe later this month or next month, down around about 92 to $93. But I'd still be looking at that as an opportunity. I mean, I still like this chart. This is good long term, but short term, yeah, it's down. All right, cool. Let's see. Super Googly says, good day to you, sir. Quant Bitcoin USD. Okay, Quant Bitcoin, not USD. All right, we can do that. Okay, and you're looking probably, I'm gonna guess Bittrex. Anyways, looking for an exit, sir? Well, I don't know where you got in. I don't know your position, and also I'm not responsible for doing your trades, and I feel kind of weird about it. But are you looking for an exit? I don't know. Do you have a short position? Do you have a long position? I don't even fucking know. Short term, what are we doing here? Well, this one actually did hit almost 100 percentile, looks like, or yeah, I don't basically 100 percentile for all I'm concerned on BBWP. So I would be looking for tops relatively soon. I mean, might have one more drive to the upside. 4 hour looks a little bit tired here. 4 hour jewel given a pretty damn good sell signal. I think that this one actually pulls back relatively soon. Maybe goes for one new all-time high before that, but I'd actually be looking for this thing to come back down to about 378,000 satoshis. Then again, actually the weekly is really fucking good here, man. You didn't give me a time frame, man. I don't know where to go with you on this one. Weekly says new all-time highs next week, or perhaps a week after that. Short-term time frame say a bit of a pullback. Take that as you will, man. I don't know your positions. I don't know what you're trying to do. I don't know what kind of trader you are, and it's probably also not what's it called, appropriate for me to also do something like that. But I do feel actually a little bit strongly that this one does very likely make new all-time highs a little bit later this month. It's a pretty damn good chart. All things considered, that is probably one of the better altcoins. Megan Hutchinson says, please ask him. I'm right here, Megan. I'm right here to look at AMC. Oh, you want to look at some bullshit meme stocks. Megan, come on, you're better than this. Oh, Megan. Megan! The fuck? You could buy anything in the stock market and they pretty much only go up if they're techs. Why do you have to buy a stupid meme stock? Why? Don't reward this garbage. Don't reward this garbage. Nah, I'm just having a laugh. Look, you are entitled to do whatever you want to do. We all have free will now, don't we? We all have free will. By the way, we don't actually all have free will because there's some people who grow up in a country called North Korea. You need to listen to this podcast by Joe Rogan with Yomi Park. I think she's also done a couple other ones with like Lex Friedman and Jordan Peterson. You need to listen to this. You need to. You absolutely need to. I think it's a must listen. It's like reading the Gulag Archipelago. You need to know about these things. It's fucking insane what's out there, and it's very, very important that we actually respect and be thankful for our current society, even as imperfect as it is, because it's a lot fucking better than that. I'll tell you that. Jesus Christ, man, that is just scary shit. Does this thing bounce back up? Very likely, yes. Probably back up to about 38.5 short term. I'm not a fan of this chart long term, though. It kind of reminds me of GameStop, although this one's not as bad as GameStop. I feel extremely strongly that GameStop is topped out. I don't feel as strongly that this one's topped out, to be honest with you. Looking at a monthly right here, I'm not getting too much from this. I do think that next daily move is very likely a bounce back up somewhere around about $40 over the next week or so, and then figure it out from there. But eventually this one will very likely come back down below $10. Let's say like actually make a legitimate change to their company. I want to check out GameStop. I know that they're not necessarily the same thing, but they do kind of trade with each other. Yeah, GameStop. I believe we said a move to 150 was likely this week, and that's actually pretty much where we're at right now. I don't know if this one has more downside today, but I do feel that, or it's not that I feel, but I would be looking at the weekly right here. Very, very likely by early September, I'd be looking at this thing back down around about 120 or so. This is going to the slow bleed of death, man. This is going to the slow bleed of death. This is what we said was going to happen way back on over here when this thing went fucking parabolic. We said, hey, the high's in, but this thing's going to keep it up probably for like a year or two, maybe even 2 years. It's going to take a long time. So I'd still say, probably like a year from now, very likely to be back down below not just $100, but probably $50. At some point, this thing's going to go all the way back down below $20 and just go back down to the gutter where it belongs. But for right now, probably is another bounce relatively soon, somewhere around about like 135, 136 or so, and then come back to it after that. But the slow bleed of death is initiated, and this is very likely what will happen to AMC over time. But as you can see, it gets drawn out for a long time. AMC more likely to bounce where it's around where it's at than not. Justin Tafoya says MicroStrategy. Okay, yeah, let's check it out. It probably is looking pretty damn good. Although it doesn't really lead Bitcoin, it seems to follow more so. MSTR. Let's get these ones mixed up with MSFT and MSTR, and then also Monster MNST. Yeah, looking very, very good here. So we have a very obvious reaccumulation, high or low right here on the weekly. Took out the prior weekly high at about 650. I'd be looking for this one to trade up later this month towards $800. This is looking very good. Looking very, very good here. Monthly, a little bit less obvious, but still okay. 4 hour. Short-term good. I'd probably be looking for this one to make a move towards like 745, 750-ish region. Looks very good right there. Anyways, you're running a covered call. Okay, so you're long stock at what price? Selling the October 15th, $800 strike right now. Okay, so let's see. You're selling. Let's just kind of mark off your areas right here. So basically, you sold what would be your sort of horizontal resistance. Oh, I already have it in there. Nice. Compared to Bitcoin 618 fib at 830. Am I wrong for selling 800? Okay, so when you're doing a covered call, the thing is that you're not really covering your long stock right there. I mean, you're selling resistance, so what's probably going to happen, technically speaking, a covered call is like you sell the in the money call strike, but in this case you sold the out of the money call strike, and I assume you probably bought like way below that. So is that actually covered? Not really. You kind of just sold premium, and then you get to keep the long stock, which I actually like. I'm just saying it's technically not a covered call. So maybe you do want to do that, maybe you don't want to do that. I don't know. Maybe you don't want the long stock, in which case then yeah, you want to sell like a lower strike than that probably. You probably want like the 650, which probably still has some decent premium there. But would that be akin to like Bitcoin at the 618? Well, let's see. I mean, we can do the same thing for this one over here now, can't we? I'm going to imagine it's probably a little bit further away, like 850 actually. In these sort of scenarios, personally, well, I shouldn't even tell you what I personally do because you're not asking for that, and you're you're doing your own thing. Are you wrong for selling the $800 call strikes? No, you're not wrong at all. It's like you have a good position, presumably. I don't know where you bought stock, but it depends what you want to do. Like, we need to know your priority. Is your priority to keep the long stock and just kind of, sell some out of the money premium? I mean, this is really not the best premium to be selling though in October. Like, that's going to stay on your sheets for a long time, man. And they're not really going to decay until you get like, at least less than a month to expiration. So if I was doing it and I just wanted to collect premium, I would have sold at maximum the September's and probably the July regulars, because those are going to have some pretty damn good premium on them as well. And just kind of sit back with a long stock if you actually want it, which I wouldn't mind it when it looks like this. I wouldn't mind it. So fair enough. It depends what you want to do is what I'm trying to say. Because if this one does continue on and we actually do have macro low in, which weekly looks pretty fucking good here, I will say. Well, what is that going to imply? It's going to imply that your call is going to be in the money by around that time, and you will lose your long stock. So I don't know. You're going to have to trade around that position most likely. Okay, Chris says, hello, Sir Krown. What's up, man? Would you take a look at Polkadot? Yes, dot, symbol DOT. Let's see if this one's doing well or not. It had a pretty good run in the last cycle, and it's not doing that well, all things considered, to most altcoins. Had a decent run right here, but the strong ones have already kind of confirmed higher lows. This one hasn't really, so kind of caught below the 200 exponential average as well. So I'd say this one's par for the course at best, a little bit on the relatively weak side though. 4 hour and daily, not a big fan of the daily right here, but again, whatever Bitcoin and Ethereum do, this thing will mirror. You got 4 hour higher lows as long as you're above about 1733. So my sort of rules, I play that. If you're bullish, you're probably looking for something like this, right? You're probably looking for something, something resembling reaccumulation where you get a higher low somewhere right around here. And then maybe like next week break out above this, 1950-ish region, and then next target to the upside would be somewhere around about 21.5 or so. But this one's very obviously not relatively strong right now. We've seen several relatively strong altcoins thus far, and this would not be one of them. Looking at a weekly, yeah, not the biggest fan of this one. Still operating below the 21 on the weekly, so it's definitely relatively weak right now, I'd say. Kind of measured against Bitcoin, and not the biggest fan of this chart, but it is, if Bitcoin and Ethereum continue on here, generally speaking, you're going to see this thing do the same thing as well, but not the one that I really want to be in, to be honest with you. But again, that's up to you. Maybe you have different positions in it. Maybe you have different thoughts about it. That's completely fine, obviously. But I'd respect 17.5 as long as you're above there, fine. Below there, though, I'd look for this one to get hammered to the downside, more so than the rest of the market, probably back down to like $14.5 to $15, with potential for more as well, sir. All right, Aaron Depp, what's up, man? NFT has me nuts. It has your nuts? D's nuts tokens. I've spent easy 12 hours straight thinking life over because of a decision for goats. The FOMO is real. How does Harmony look? We can look at Harmony. It's that symbol 1, right? No time frame given, so I don't really know where to go with this one, so I'll just go with like the daily, weekly, given that we can populate those, and yeah, we should be able to. Well, this is a 4 actually, but 4 hours in a short-term uptrend. It doesn't look too strong though compared to other things. Yeah, definitely not benefiting as much from the strength in the broad market here. It's certainly relatively weak, but do we have a good setup here? Yeah, we do have a good setup right here. Looks like daily Jewel's actually going to flip back around for maybe a continuation signal. More importantly, BBWP's on the fucking floor. So that is looking for expansion. And right now, do you have an uptrend on the daily? You kind of have a higher low right here. You certainly don't have a higher high just yet. If that expansion does come with a break above the 200 simple, it's very likely to lead towards a nice move towards, I don't know, what is this, like 10, just below 10 cents or so. Not my favorite chart, all things considered. I mean, the strong ones are kind of already making their moves. But this one, short-term timeframes, it's fine as long as you're above about, 7.25 cents. Completely fine right there, holds a higher low. So, you got to be respectful of that. But I'm just, I think that there's more obvious charts. And, you really want to, at least in my experience, you want to reward the ones that have been doing well throughout this, especially like the last couple months here, because most things have not. So that kind of speaks volumes for it. This one's just following, again, going to be tethered to whatever Bitcoin and Ethereum does. Very unlikely does as well to the upside, and probably underwhelms to the downside as well. On any sort of downside move. But yeah, man, these fucking NFTs, I don't even really understand them, but I feel like I need one now. I feel like I need one. Stupid. Can you make me one? All right, Elsa's gonna make me an NFT. Thank you, sir. Harry Bennett says, I wonder if she's only with you for your money. I hope so, really, because then I'll know when to give her my number. Ha 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 ha. Let's just look at this guy's profile picture. Man, you look like the total ladies man, actually. So yeah, let's hook you up. Let's hook you up with Elsa, sir. Jesus Christ. No, I'm looking at his profile picture right now. He's very. Oh wow, yes. Let's show this guy on the big screen. Here is Harry Bennett. Ooh, powerful ladies man. Sorry, man. I couldn't help myself. That was mean. That was a little bit too much. I apologize, man. You're probably great with women. Okay, cool. Corey H says Ethereum $1,000 by Sunday, sir. I thought it was by end of this week. Oh yeah, I guess Sunday is end of the week. All right, the $1,000 end of the week. Who was that? We don't need to pick on him, of course, but he did he promise refunds? I want my damn refunds, motherfucker. No refunds. Also, can you look at Luna versus BUSD? We already looked at it versus USD. I don't think this one's going to be any different here, but if I recall, it was one of the more stronger ones. Yeah, this actually looks a little bit better versus BUSD. It's kind of already making this move, but yeah, I'd be looking for this one towards 16.5, maybe even 17.5. Looks pretty damn good here. This is an example of a strong altcoin. All major moving averages in a bullish posturing. Weekly, good. Not a whole hell of a lot of history there, but pretty good. All right, a million or the moon says, love the channel. Hey, thanks, man. Appreciate that. Very much appreciate that. Thoughts on CSP? This is CRISPR? This is like the gene editing technology. Is that right? CSPR. No, this is Casper. All right. Oh, you're probably talking about this fucking cryptocurrency over here. God damn it. All right, well, whatever. Wow, this one looks pretty bad. We have the worst chart of the day award going to CSPR, baby. That's right. Shitcoin police, they're here, they're waiting, and they're going to take it back down to the fucking shitcoin gutter, man. This one looks bad. Worst chart of the day, for sure. For sure, man. This one's been in a perennial downtrend. I mean, it's only been around for a few months here, but nothing bullish about this thing at all whatsoever, as long as you're below about 9 cents. Even then, I don't think you probably can't short that thing either. Maybe you can. I would be careful with that. When moon should I 100x long with your Bybit link? Hopefully this thing. What? Wait, what? What? How dare you? Oh, sorry. Whoopsies. Should I 100x long leverage on this? Probably not, man. Probably not. Unless if you just want to donate your money to the liquidation engine, that'd be very generous of you. That'd be very, very generous. Okay, Abbott's. Wait, hold on. I skipped someone else. Sorry about that, Abbott. We'll get to that in just a second. Daniel Garcia says, could you check out XM Daily Weekly? Okay, so I'm guessing this is a stock. Just double check. Okay, yeah, it's actually serious. No, it's not serious. It's Qualtrics XM. Looking good. Looking very good, actually. I'd be looking for this one to pop back up, fill the gap from 22nd of February, somewhere right around about 45.5 to $46. Looks good. Looks good for a reversal here. This is a nice accumulation zone, and you got your confirmation above your last 28th of April high. That is textbook right there. Looking good. I woke up someone's mom's. Hi, Mom. Hello. Good morning to you. Wake up, you lazy bitch. Tony's mom. Tony.
No, Johnny.
Johnny. Johnny, what is that stupid siren sound? Are you listening to that curly-headed fuck on YouTube? He sucks. What's up, Derek M? I see him. Gohan's mom. I see you as well. All right. There he is, Mr. Abademic, KSS on the weekly. Hope you have fun weekends plans. Actually, we do, man. There's an air show. Like, there's gonna be like all these fighter jets and everything flying around Helsinki. So I actually really want to see that because I don't know, man.
You're a nerd.
Because I'm a nerd. That's exactly right. Looking at the daily over here, looking good, man. I think that this consolidation is kind of over. What the fuck is this long term though? This is a weird chart long term. This is a very bizarre chart long term, man. I don't know what to make of this long term, but let's see. You're asking for a weekly. Okay, I guess we don't need to go off the monthly then. Yeah, weekly is a little bit more easy. I do look for this consolidation to be resolved relatively soon, probably back up to like 55, maybe even $57. You know, it's a very easy one to play, right? Because you do have a golden cross on the weekly. You just tested it right there. That's kind of picture perfect. That means that as long as you're above that pivot, I do play to the long side. That's one of my rules here. Of course, you know, you're obviously fair to do whatever you want, but I generally favor the upside here, probably back up, you know, more long-term towards $60 or whatever the high is of this rally. It looks more like 62 actually. J3F says I meant theta. Oh, sorry. All right, let's pull this one up. Whoopsies. Apologies about that, man. Apologies. Sorry, it's a weird morning for myself. I don't feel all there as usual. Looking at the weekly right here, a little bit on the stronger side actually as far as altcoins go. Yeah, and on the daily, very, very obvious as well. Lovely consolidation right here. Testing the 200 simple right now. Probably does have a quick short-term pullback from there. And I think that's what we're seeing right here. Might even come back down to like 666 actually. But if you're looking at, or I don't know what time frame you are looking at, but the weekly is actually rather easy right here. Multiple drives of hidden bullish evidence. Very similar setup to Ethereum actually, as far as momentum oscillators go. Weekly Jules lost its downside curvature. I'd probably be looking for this one to pop back up to just shy of like somewhere around $9 over the next couple of weeks here. It actually looks pretty damn good. Again, easy one to play because, you know, nothing really bearish to say about this as long as it's above yesterday's spike low actually. And what do you know? You have that same sort of bait and switch on a very bad death cross. I mean, this, like, I love these plays right here. You get a terrible death cross right here. I mean, this one's rather obvious. You pump right into it. Those are usually very high quality plays and very, very likely to run the other way. This one, again, probably has a short-term pullback. Might even already be done, but over the next couple weeks, I'd probably be looking for someone to try a little bit higher. All right, oh, you're looking at a 4 hour on daily, or sorry, 4 hour on hourly. Short term, what are we looking at right here? Yeah, short term probably does pull back a little bit more, like 675 to 660 region. But overall, I do like that one on the weekly, which you didn't ask for, so I don't know, maybe that's relevant to you, maybe not. Rosario Massetti says, "Ciao, sir. Hello, sir. Is an AMC looking like an easy short?" No, I don't think so. I don't think that these meme stocks are easy shorts because they're like I said, they're gonna get dragged out for a long time. And this one I do suspect is gonna pop up here probably today. I wouldn't be bearish on this one like today. I think that this one could very easily pop back up to like $50. If you want to short this one, this is not the area to do it in my opinion. Of course, it depends what time frame you're on, but I don't really see a good short on any time frame here actually. All time frames look like they want to pop up somewhere around $40, maybe sometime this month, and you know later on I wouldn't be surprised to see this thing make another run towards 50. It's long term that I'd be very bearish on this, not short term, medium term at all. And Bitcoin's back around $41,000. Hey, not bad, sir, not bad. Spencer Smith says, "Zur, thank you for your analysis the other day on XYO. Held it till it popped over a penny. Nice. Hey, for the two. Holy shit, you made a 2.5. Sweet, nice one, man." Jesus Christ, those things really do move. Was tempted to sell before. All good, man. All good. It sounds like you made a pretty damn good trade. Give yourself some goddamn credit. And yeah, man, enjoy yourself too. Like one of the things that I actually feel quite strongly about, and one of the things that I kind of implemented in my own trading like a few years in was, you know, whenever you have like like a slew of good trades or like a good, meeting a goal, some sort of self-defined goal, go and reward yourself a little bit after that. Doesn't have to be anything too crazy, but just go and reward yourself. Kind of like packs it into your brain that, yo, you're doing something good. It's like that's what we want. Pablo South says, "Smash the likes and really to jump into the hood." Oh, do you want to look at Robinhood? I actually would appreciate a humble request to smash the like button. You don't have to smash it, but just a little love tap if you feel inclined. If not, that's all good too. I don't have any opinion on something that's just recently IPO'd, man. I would be looking for a gap fill here, so I do think that you have a little bit of short-term downside to just below $47. Probably a short-term bounce there, but I don't play IPOs. I don't think that analysis really works all that well in them. Yeah, there are a few strategies, but I'm not the person to answer that. So I have to give you, I have to shoot you damn straight, man, and just say a healthy amount of I don't know, and I don't know what the right thing to do on this one would be, or I have no expertise here, so I'll just kind of leave it at that. But I do feel strongly that short term it will come back down a little bit. Take that as you will. Okay, cool. Sushi Yum Yums. What's up, man? I like sushi as well. XLM Daily Weekly. All right, that's Stellar, right? Stellar Rumens, and I actually have STR, symbol STR somewhere around here. I know for certain. Maybe I don't anymore. There it is. Found it. Let's see how this one's operating. A 2017, 2018 shitcoin. And did this one actually make new all-time highs? No, it didn't, but it actually had one of the... It's okay, I guess. Okay, so what time frames are we looking at here? We are looking at a daily weekly. All right, weekly actually is looking good for a little bit of a pop back up. I wouldn't be surprised to see 33 cents tagged sometime this month. Daily, a little bit less obvious on the daily, but again, market analysis kind of trumps everything else right here, and Bitcoin is kind of leading the party here. Jesus Christ, too many damn lines. Here we go. We just need this one right here. I'd be giving this one the benefit of the doubt as long as it remains above your 3rd of August spike low at about 26.5 cents. Below there, I would be looking for it to cough up most of the rally back down about just below 23 cents, but I don't think that's what's happening here. I do respect the upside a little bit more than the downside, mostly based off the weekly here. Yeah, weekly RSI, hidden bullish evidence right off the lows. Not the strongest read right there, to be fair. But I wouldn't be surprised to see this thing make a leg up towards 33 cents, maybe later this month or so. Okay, what else do we have over here? We have a hee going on. The fucking hyena's at it again. Idiot Air says Atom USD on the daily. Okay, let's check it out. Atom USD on the daily. Okay, let's see it. Do have a higher low, but this one is not taken out its mid-July highs, which is rather interesting. So I'm not really sure what to make out of that. But what time frames were you looking at there? On the daily, actually. Okay, so that doesn't really help us too much. Volatility is on the ground, so we are looking for expansion right there. RSI has a slight upside bias. Market has an upside bias as well. I'd probably be using yesterday's spike low as a, it's kind of like a bias buster right there. Below there, I'd get bearish on this one for another move back down to like $10, but I don't think that's what's happening, man. This one's probably going to follow the rest of the market as is usual. It's not necessarily leading. 4 hours, very obviously an uptrend, and this actually makes this a lot easier. As long as you're above $12, fine. And probably be looking for a move back up to your 11th of July highs. Again, look for strength in Bitcoin and Ethereum to kind of lead this one as well, but that would be my next relevant region to the upside. And then above there, you got your $16.5 to $17 regions. This one's definitely relatively weak, however. Probably not my, definitely not my favorite altcoin, but very likely to follow here. Weekly looks okay. Looks okay, I suppose. And hidden bullish evidence all across the board there as well, so good. Neo Neb says, hello, Zer. What's up, man? Can you give your thoughts on 1 hour and 4 hour GHST, BUSD? Yeah, we already looked at this one, man. Just briefly look at the 4 hour really quickly here. Respect the higher lows, man. I wouldn't mind to move down to like 176. I suppose I hold bullishness on this thing as long as it's above about 165. And it's the weekly that I'd be looking at right here. This is still more or less bullish. Daily, still more or less bullish. I'm not so certain if this one continues like from this exact moment or pulls back first, though. If I had to guess, it probably pulls back first, a little bit to like 175 or 180, tries for a higher low there, and then tries for another run. But I don't feel too compelled by that. Valentin Degen says, hey, Krown, hey, what's up, man? Have we looked at Link? No, we haven't, man. 4 hour and daily, sure. All right, 23.5. Link, how are you doing? Kind of par for the course, neither strong nor weak. Let's see what the 4 hour looks like. Yeah, the 4 hour looks a little bit tired here, actually. If I was just looking at the 4 hour, I'd probably be looking for a pullback to about $22. Bless you, sir. I don't really have a strong opinion on this one, man. It would be market analysis here. And the market analysis is more or less continuation. In this case, that'd be about $27. I don't feel strongly about this one, however. I'd feel strongly about a daily below about $22 and then cough up the majority of this rally back down to like 17. But I don't think that's what's happening just in general within this market. Weekly would make it a lot easier if we close above the 21 here, and then could probably target back around about 27.5. Other than that, though, it's not the strongest chart, not the weakest chart. Hourly still in an uptrend. I don't have a strong opinion about this one. My opinions are about the market analysis right here, so probably does move to the upside, but wouldn't be surprised if we see any sort of weakness in Bitcoin. This one comes back down to about $22 or so. That'll be the obvious one. Tries for a low right there, but other than that, I actually should say a healthy amount of I don't know is actually the right answer for this one. Okay, what else do we have? Matthew Stanislaw, what's up, man? Pomp and Cardano creator both had okay, so Pomp and the Cardano creator, whose name, what is his name? He's a rather prominent figure as well. Anyways, I'm blanking on his name right now. Both had rants today. Okay, 50 million to see if breathalyzers will cut down drunk driving. I wonder, what the fuck? What? Sir, this is a Wendy's. I wonder, Cardano Bitcoin 4 hour daily. All right, that makes sense to me. That makes sense to my brain. Let's see what we got here. Cardano Bitcoin, and you're looking at 4 hour and daily. 4 hour down, be looking for this one to retest $3,100 lows. Or actually, no, this is daily. I'd be looking for that one to retest 4 hour, daily lows, 3,100. 4 hour, same thing. Some phantom div going on right there. And daily had some hidden bearish evidence at the highs. It would be very easy to switch around to be bullish on this one anywhere back above this spike high right here on 4th of August at above 3,600. If that were to happen, I'd be looking for a nice move back up to 3,850, but I do suspect that this one trades to the downside first. Weekly, I'm not a big fan of. Weekly actually looks like it could just fall through the fucking floor, but I'd give it the benefit of the doubt for now. Just short term, a little bit of downside. If this one does break down on the weekly, I'd be looking for a full on move down to like 24.50 in like over the next month and a half. But yeah, it's, not the. I would have expected a little bit better on this one, but I guess we should probably check out Bitcoin dominance chart here. We see a very bifurcated altcoin market going on. Very interesting. Yes, we are getting a bounce in Bitcoin dominance here, which is what we said yesterday. And this is a higher low. You might even say as well. Even some hidden bullish divergence about to confirm itself with a closure here or higher by end of day. Yep, I stick with what I've been saying here. I would still be more or less bullish on this. So it kind of does make sense to be a little more bearish on Cardano Bitcoin pairing there. But it's not all altcoins really. I mean, Ethereum Bitcoin I suspect is still actually did kind of have its spike right there, but I still like it on the higher term time frame. So nothing's really changed. For me there on the monthly. Super Ghoulie says, sir, may I indulge you in one more? Sure. UTK, BTC, daily and weekly. All right. UTK versus Bitcoin specifically. Okay. And you said 4 hour. No, you said daily and weekly. All right. We got some higher term time frames here. That's a monthly. Weekly. Okay. So I'm definitely not a fan of this chart long term, right? It is kind of a pump and dump versus the Bitcoin pairing, but we are generally speaking in a nice pumpy area from right here. We do have a weekly higher low as well. I imagine actually there actually is no hidden bullish evidence, which is a little bit of surprise right there. But weekly Jules lost its downside curvature in a very low area as well. Weekly RSI breaking back above the exponential. I think that this one's putting a bit of a local low here. Very likely trades back up north of like 900 to 950-ish region over the next month. You're looking at a daily. Yeah, it looks good on the daily actually. Short-term continuation to about just shy of like 800 satoshis. So decent right there actually. Short and medium term, it's kind of in a bouncy area. Even though long term, I'm not a fan of that chart. Tokyo Channel says, hope all is well. Hope all is well as well, man. You've been volunteering at the Olympics? Holy shit. How is that? How is that? Like, actually, it looks pretty damn cool, man. Alex Switch, there he is. But no, he doesn't have any message. Oh, there it is. I see. Yo, measure move on weekly CME shows more than 80,000. Oh, dear Lord. Oh, dear Lord. All right, so I'm guessing you're talking about the failed inverted head and shoulders measure move. Is that right? Let's see. Okay. So I'm gonna guess that that's what you're talking about here. Tell me if it's a different one. But basically, with failed head and shoulders measure moves, these are actually better on the other side than not. At least in my experience, especially when you do have a general macro uptrend. What do we have right here? Well, what can you do? Well, typically speaking, when you do have a measure move for head and shoulders, you apply it to the neckline and it breaks down, right? That would give you a price of like $4,000. I don't think that's happening. And I'm pretty damn fucking vocal about that before. Now, if it fails, how do you know that it fails? It takes out what would have been your right hand shoulder on this, and this would be pointed up. I don't have 80,000. I have about 70,000 actually, which is kind of in line with the 1.272 Fibonacci extension, just for what it's worth, which would be an obvious target actually. Actually don't really have too much coming in around $80,000, but I do recall that Fibbo Swanee, who is the fucking master of Fibonacci's, he was suggesting an 80,000 or so target on a continuation of macro uptrend. So I'd default to him, and in that situation, he's the master of that. Matthew Stanislaw says, greeting from Flint, Michigan. How's the water over there? We love our lead with a splash of whiskey. There you go. I like it, man. Water sucks. And 1 nano for Elsa, 2 for Lucky. Oh, shit. What's going on here, man? All right, we'll get him some nice gourmet dog food from now on. Appreciate that, brother. But seriously, is the water in Flint, Michigan still like an issue? I remember that was like a big deal in 2016, I think it was. Is that right? Robert Giroux says, hello, sir. What's up, man? Could you have a look at UniUSD? Yes, this is a unicorn token. This is what Elson is getting on. There's actually a thing called unicorn token, and it's actually pretty good too, from what I understand. Uniswap, yeah, actually doing pretty well here. Look at this. Oh my God, you have another one of those fake out death crosses into a golden cross. I'm telling you, like these, it's just like the failed head and shoulders moves. I think that these are like more powerful than the actual moves itself. Short term, or actually we've kind of already got to pull back off the 200 simple. Maybe pulls back a little bit more towards $24, but I do like this chart for general continuation over the rest of the month. Next general target is going to be about 29.5 to $30. Weekly RSI back above the exponential. It doesn't really have too much history there, but this is actually decent for what we do have as far as structure goes. I actually like this one. You have a very easy way to kind of manage a position like this too, and you just anywhere below this sort of spike low at about 21.5. Bad, but I don't think that's what's happening here. This one actually relatively strong, and with a strong Bitcoin and strong Ethereum, this one probably benefits a little bit more, all things considered. Pretty good. Abbott Dynamics says, Moon Equity Hold, OTC. Okay, what's the... I'm just going to type this in. Moon Equity? Let's see. Okay, that's money. Money. Give me the money. Oh, are we going there? Are we going there? We're going to the moon equity holds. That's right. We are going to the moon equity holds, sirs. Weekly. You'll love this one. All right, let's check it out. Actually, not bad. Actually, this one. I think this one's actually pretty damn good, man. I don't know if it's ready to continue like from this exact posturing. Monthly says good, but I wouldn't expect this one to continue this month. Probably what is it? Start of Q4, somewhere around like end of September, early October. And next upside target is going to be somewhere around like your 2012 to 2014 highs right here. It'll be like 20.5 cents to, oh, it's a penny. It's fucking penny stock, man. It's 29 cents. I mean, this has been a hell of a run right here, to be fair. I don't know how much I trust this one, man. I don't know how much I trust OTC bullshit like this, but I suppose you can play trend, right? And where's your trend? 3 cents. Jesus, man. Motherfucker. It does have a sorry, not a jewel, but sell signal, but it does have bearish evidence here. You already hit the measure move, or sorry, you already hit the move on that. So this could line up right here, but it's not there just yet. That would be concerning. That would make me immediately bearish, but for right now, I guess cautiously still looking for it to kind of grind sideways and maybe like later, or sorry, maybe more like in September, it does try another upside move. Weird chart though, long term. Tai Tong says, can you check ACH on Coinbase for in daily? I can, but I suspect that this one's very new, so it might not be good to go to Coinbase. Probably better to go to... Wait, no, I do remember this one from yesterday. It's like, no, this is not the same one from yesterday. We really need to go to a different exchange that has more history, man, especially as you're asking for like a daily, and there's nothing to look at on a daily right there. Or are you asking for daily? Yeah, you are. Yeah, you can't analyze a daily when you have 4 days of trading, man. We need to go to Huobi for this one. It's at new all-time highs. Yes, typically a good sign. I know, it's probably going to have a short-term pullback here, maybe back down just below 5 cents or so, but I respect the uptrend. I mean, you did have an event. I'm guessing it's probably pumping into like the Coinbase listing. These are typically sell the event type things, but how high does it get before it's a sell? I don't know. I don't really have a good answer for you on this one, man. My crystal ball is broken here. It never works when it needs to, but I do expect that you have I do expect that you have maybe a few more all-time highs, maybe up somewhere around like 10 cents, a nice round even number, and then fucking dump it. But just in general, 99% of the time, and sometimes it is actually different, but 99% of the times when you have like a listing event like this, it's typically sell the event. But this one, how much higher can it go? I mean, you're already at 100 percentile for daily BBWP. I think this one's really fucking close to a high. You might have already even seen it, but F4 doesn't really look like a high just yet. Maybe goes for like one more. All right, cool. Johnny on the spot says, Mom says hi. Hello. She loves Elsa's nails. Holy shit. That's cool. That's cool as all hell. Abitemic says CRSP Therapeutics. Let's check it out. All right, so this is CRISPR. CRSP. Is it? It is it. All right, this is the one that's going to edit your genes and make us into superhumans. You're looking at a weekly. Let's get off the 4 hour. 4 hour looks good though. Weekly looks good as well. Nice little higher low right here. Reaccumulation phase well underway. Looking good. Volatility declining along this whole segment right here. That is good long term. And we have a long term uptrend. I like it. I like it all the way around, man. I don't think it's ready this month, but probably later this year, this one does give another run up towards 170 and probably beyond. Probably new all-time highs. It's very good. Very, very good on a monthly. Daily, good. I'd be looking for short-term back up to like 140, 141. Weekly, however, going to take its time, I imagine. But overall, bullishly biased there. Looking nice. Looking nice and powerful, sir. My bad. KSS on ASX. Okay, gotcha. Cleo space? Like Miss Cleo space. All right, KSS. And you're talking about this one right here, not Kohl's Corporation. What do we have? We have a weekly uptrend. We have a nice spike low to the 21. That makes things to manage very, very easy right there. Not a whole hell of a lot of history to look at a monthly, but daily, very obviously a nice orderly consolidation right here. BBWP on the floor. This one's looking for expansion. I think that this one actually might be ready like very soon, probably this month. I'd be looking for this one to trade north of like $1. Probably make new all-time highs. Yeah, we are at new all-time highs pretty much already. Looks very good. Nothing bearish about this thing as long as it's above its current week low at 88 cents. Very easy to manage this one. Nice little orderly uptrend. Very, very lovely. Very lovely, man. Good chart. Hey, nice one. Crypto Angel says, Theta, sir. Thanks. We've looked at this one a million times, sir. All right, let's see. Theta. All right. No time frame given either. Did we look at this one? Yeah, we have looked at this one. Yeah, I'm generally looking for probably sometime around end of month, maybe September, probably back up to like 869 or so. Daily, I'd like to see a closure above the 200 in this case. Short term, nice base right around about 635 or so. Fine. One generally good. Daily Jewel says continuation, so I'm gonna go with that one. Again, one of the relatively strong altcoins, which is good. Okay, cool. Howard Rourke says, hey, what's up, Mr. Rourke? I guess Elsa played with Krown's nuts really well tonight. He's so joyful. It's true, man. Though, no, fuck no, man. I ain't letting those goddamn witch hands get around my very precious nutsack. Very bad. Those are like little knives, man. She's got Edward Scissorhand nails. It's disgusting. Justin Young, what's up, man? Oh, there he is. He's got a nice emoji. Appreciate that, man. Jack says he sent an SC, but I couldn't find it. So here, SOS. All right. I already know what Jack wants to look at. Jack wants to look at Ethereum, Bitcoin. We can do that. Ethereum, short term, let's see. Do we have a short term pullback? Yes, we do. Short term, very short term pullback, 6.7 million Satoshis, maybe even deeper towards about 6.5 if things get crazy. Long term, I'm still very much bullish on, you know that. If we go to a medium term time frame like a daily, I'd just be looking for a higher low anywhere in the mid 6 million Satoshi region. I still like this chart a lot, man. This one has had a nice break above the channel. We do have a technical target of about, 8 million Satoshis or more. Over time, it's not going to happen like over one day, but I'd be looking for this one to try for a higher low somewhere around here, maybe even spikes like the 10 simple or something. And then like later this year, probably tries like that actual move like this. I still really like this, man. This is a very good chart on the weekly. The only way that I kind of negate my weekly analysis here is if it closed below about 6.5 million Satoshis. That would be concerning. But for right now, man, I really like this chart still long term. It's short term, a little bit of a short term pullback. I'd be looking for bounces and higher lows somewhere around there. First and foremost. But again, long term, I know that I've been very consistent with the long term over the last few months. It's like I actually really like that one long term. I just feel compelled to say that even though you're not asking about that. Slytime00 says, hi mate, what's up, man? Could you check out Solana? Yeah, 4 on daily, sure. Okay, we're gonna do versus US Derp right here on Binance. And here's our 4 hour, nice little uptrend. I think we need to see the daily to get a better picture. Yes, okay, here we go. This one's a lot more easier on the daily. I'd be looking for this one to pop back up north of $40. You have a very obvious higher low right here. Moving average switching around to a bullish cross, 21 and 55. That is a good one. Very good test right here. So this is like your structural base at about 33 and a quarter. As long as you're above there, I favor the short-term, medium-term upside back up somewhere around 40 to 42 and a half. Weekly, I know you didn't ask about it, but I do like the weekly as well. But that's going to take a little bit more time for it to happen, obviously. Again, all kind of hinges upon this area right here, but pretty damn good for right now. Anyways, Matthew Stanislaw says, rants about the infrastructure bill you mentioned at the beginning. What about it? They were ranting about it. Okay, fair enough. Yeah. It's good to see that people are raising awareness about this. I am, of course, like the very uneducated on those topics. So I strongly suggest if you are interested in it, go check out the people who really spend their time like learning about that kind of stuff, because it is important and you actually can make a difference. You really can make a difference when you call your representative or congressperson or whatever. Like they actually do listen. It is kind of weird. And I know that feels like it's, it's kind of all for naught, but apparently from what I've told, like from people who actually are in the know, like they actually do take action on that kind of stuff. And it's very easy to do as well. Very easy. Mohammed Sykes says, can you comment on Cardano Ethereum? Okay. Very curious which you'd favor over, you mean, can you comment on Ethereum Cardano versus Ethereum? Well, yeah, we can just look at the chart right here. Whichever one's, oh man. Bad. It's bad. But do we have a weekly higher low in progress? Probably yes. Yeah. When I go to the long term, it's not. Short term probably does spike the downside one more time. Yeah, man, that is an ugly looking daily. That is a really fucking ugly looking daily. But we're charting like something that's probably very illiquid on this specific pair. But if I had to guess based off the weekly, I'd be looking for a higher low here first and foremost. So short term, yeah, probably does trade a little more down. Long term, however, I would be bullish actually on Cardano versus Ethereum. Monthly, however, monthly is throwing me for a loop because this one's very obviously bearish here on the monthly. I don't. Maybe a healthy amount of I don't know is the proper answer on this one, because the monthly is very obviously bearish. The weekly, kind of have to be looking for a higher low here first and foremost. Here's the obvious trade. Anywhere below the last weekly higher low, which is, what is this, 45,000 butyrols. Obviously, very fucking bearish for Cardano. Monthly is already bearish. Daily is bearish. So I'm gonna get, if I'm going with the average here, then it's probably more downside angled here. But I would give the weekly a chance first. I would give that a chance first, and I do not feel that confident about that one, and I want to be very, very transparent about that. Marcin Pazniskowski says, hey, how are you? What's up, man? You are definitely Polish, sir, or I'm going to guess. Can you check out Hydra USDT on KuCoin, 1 hour and 4 hour? Okay. All right, not familiar with this thingy, but let's check it out on KuCoin. Bad, bad, bad! We have a shitcoin, sir. We have a shitcoin that's loose again in this goddamn bullish market. How the fuck are you going to be bearish when Bitcoin and Ethereum are green dilding their way to the heavens? Shitcoin police inbound, and they are taking this one away for your own good, sir. This is terrible. Bad. Very bad. Very bad. All in. And... one of the worst charts we've seen today. This one does not get to join in any rallies, apparently. Hidden bearish evidence all along that last tide. This one's coming back down to like $10 and probably low over time. This is probably like an actual irrelevant shitcoin. This is bad. Very bad. Bad. Oh, you're asking about a 4 hour and an hourly. Okay, I'm looking at higher term time. Well, it still looks bad. It probably bounces around here, though. Probably bounce around $13. What do you say? Okay. We don't need to go. We all started off somewhere. Hey, man, I made some fucking dastardly mistakes when I first started trading, like thinking that, oh, lower is better, or this is going to be the one to make me rich. No, we've all done it. Or at least I definitely done it. I imagine most people have as well. What's up, Frank Garcia? Been a while, man. Can you look at dollar versus Thailand baht? Sure. Whoopsies. Right here. There we go. And you're looking at what? You're looking at a weekly. I can already... 4 hour looks really good. Daily looks really good. Weekly looks really fucking good. This is really fucking good. Dollar killing. Nice inverted head and shoulders low right here. New all-time highs. This is in price discovery. I don't have any targets to really give on this one. I imagine it's already hit the measure move probably a while ago. Let's just see. No, actually. There's a little bit more to go to meet that. Somewhere around about, what is that, 33 and a half? 33.60, 33.5 to 33.60 is what I'd say. Okay, Alex Switch said, oh, he's back. I'm seeing it as a flag with a broken. Okay, so you're looking at it as as a flag formation. Okay, let me see. It's long term. I can actually drag that up and just to double check exactly what you're looking at here. Okay, I see what you're looking at. Fuck, that is a hell of a target, man. I mean, I don't know if I'd consider it a flag formation though. That'd probably be my big pushback on that. It should operate as like a falling channel or a falling wedge if that's going to be the case, and I don't really see that here. At least from my eyes, it'd be a little bit more Jesus toast. But hey, I'd like an $80,000 target. Don't get me wrong. make life very nice. All right. Oh shit! I just completely lost my spot. Yo, daddy. You didn't like it? No, bad. Matthew Stanislaw is back. The lead is messing up kids. Oh, the lead is messing up kids. Okay, I see you. Infrastructure. We're only $28 trillion in debt. We can afford it. Yeah. just put it on the ledger, man. Just put it on the fucking ledger. It is a funny thing, man. It's like if we as human individuals spent like Congress, I don't think like the lenders would appreciate that. It's like if you spent like you were in Congress, you're gonna get broke really fucking fast, and you're probably gonna default on all this shit very fucking fast as well. But I guess they have different rules, different rules. So fair enough. Above the law, sirs and sirs. Marcin, but let's just not complain. As long as the stock market's going completely to the moon, we can just ignore all other potential issues with reality. It does not matter. Just focus on the number go up. Do not focus on on relative price. Okay, let's see. Marcin says, sir, your last TA on Fun UST, perfect hit. Nice. All right, sweet. Every once in a while, that TA bullshit works, man. Every once in a while. Thank you very much. Magic, really magic. No financial advice, of course. Hey, man, fair enough. Whatever you do with that is your own doing, my friend. Chester Adlin says, thoughts on Deece nuts. Let's see. This thingy. Okay. Let's check it out. Shares on Poloniex, so it can't be that bad. It's holding above 10 cents. Important for looking macro bullish. Let's see. First off, let's see how much. Okay. Macro bullish is not what I'd call a pump and dump. Sir, whenever you see something like that, whenever you see something like this, ever, extend that like another 10 times. Whenever you see something like this is called a pump and dump. Is this a macro low? There's no such thing as a macro low in a pump and dump. Because it very likely retests lows, and the monthly says no, new lows are very likely incoming. This is garbage, man. Does it get another pump at some point? Yeah, very likely yes, but I'm not gonna be able to be the person who's gonna tell you when. I mean, you're kind of around, where you do expect your sort of macro pumps to come in around, like this just below 4.5 cent region. You're very close to it. But you play with fire with something like this, man. So in a more sincere tone, do I think it's at a macro low? Fuck no. This is garbage. And it's barely falling to the upside with the rest of the market as well. It looks like it barely trades. I mean, we see days where it has a volume of 13. And it's like only 10 cents anyway. So if someone bought like 30 cents worth of this thing, I don't know, man. I don't know about that. I'd have to say I would probably, if it were me, I'd probably avoid this thing. But of course, everyone's free to do what they want to do. If the question is quite simply, are we at a macro low? I'd say probably not. Probably not. Pretty fucking bad, man. Sorry. Holding is holding above 10 cents important? Well, it's already below 10 cents, but no. Okay, so here's what we can do, because you have a very specific question. What would be important long term? Important long term would be holding above this pivot right here on a weekly, 21 cents, and you could probably initiate another one of those dastardly pump phases. But man, this is a hot steaming pile of garbage. Is what it is. Okay, Steve Bob JD wants to look at axes on the daily and 4 hour. Okay, AXS. Have to remember this one was quite bullish last we looked at it. 4 hour is still in an uptrend, still kind of holding it. Looks like we hit a lot of our targets right here. Not bad. The $50 target to get hit, not bad. I'd probably be looking for this one to put in a bit of a trading range. And do we still stick with like a macro bullish bias? Let's go to a weekly really quickly. I don't know, man. This one's pretty fucking extended. Jesus Christ. I'd give it the benefit of the doubt. As long as it holds the higher lows above the 21 at about $36, give it the benefit of the doubt. But at best, I think it goes sideways for a while. You probably see it sideways. Probably at best it goes sideways, and then maybe like later this month it tries another upside move. I think that you've kind of seen the highs for now. Anyways, if it did come back down and break $36, I would look for a big retracement, probably down just below $30 to 29 and a half or so. Okay, all right. Epidemics is back. When you're trying to enjoy yourself but can't get the charts off your mind, how do you focus on Elsa's face over the computer screen? Well, it's actually quite easy, because I'm always like, in the Discords looking at charts, and pretty much always submerged in this stuff. So it's actually rather nice to have a bit of a change of pace by looking at a pretty face. So that's what I'd say about that, man. It actually is quite nice, and I really appreciate the downtimes, because there are some times when it comes to like trading everything where it's like I'm pretty much looking at the shit at all hours of the day, and I'll even wake up in the morning to look at it as well. Like if it's one of those times like we had in middle of May where there's like humongous opportunity, I will sacrifice some sleep in order to make some easier trades. But other than that, when things are like kind of more slow and manageable, like right now, I actually really appreciate just kind of getting my mind off that. So I think it's really important to kind of give yourself a bit of a break in that case, because there's not always an opportunity. At least at least in my system, there's not always an opportunity. And I imagine for anyone's systems, like unless you're like a high frequency trader, there's probably at least some times where your time is better spent elsewhere. Fed book equals crypto margin. Is this a thing? Is the thing that I should be looking at? I'm just going to type in Fed book here. Are you talking about Facebook? This. Wait. This. No. You mean the? Okay, I think I understand what you mean. Yeah. Do you mean like the Fed balance sheet? Actually, I still don't know what you mean. Actually, I'd have to ask for a point of clarification on that one. Dollar versus Canadian dollar. 1 month and 1 week. Sure. USD CAD. So we got here. You're looking at what, a monthly and a weekly. 4 hours down, but you're looking at a weekly right here. Is that relevant? Hey, what the fuck is this? Whatever that is, must be on a monthly or something. Nope, that's garbage too. Justin, yeah. Hey, Justin, we're trying to figure out what you asked, man, but it's better for you to just repost the question because it wasn't in the chat itself, so it's hard for us to pull it up, man. So it'd be really appreciated if you could do that and make it much easier. Yeah, just just tag Elsa in it. Monthly, not a big fan of this one, but I wouldn't be too surprised if it actually did pop back up to like 128. Weekly, down. This hidden bearish divergence. I'd be looking for this one to pop back down to 123 first. Probably tries for another low over here, and then maybe tries for a bit of a move to the upside after that. This one's going to take a long time to come down, but long term, yeah, long term, this one very likely does pop down. But yeah, daily's down 124 or so. Weekly, yeah, I'd be saying first move down. First target would be about 123. If things get crazy, I'd be about 120.5, and then see what happens after that. I wouldn't be surprised if it tries for another bounce on a monthly, like around that level, and then come back to it after that. Okay, Dogoshi. What's up, Dogoshi? Krown, are the odds in favor of coin breaking? Are you talking about Coinbase? Let's look at that. Let's pull it up right here. Coin 255. Ooh, hey, looking good right there. I haven't checked on this one in a while, but I think that Bitcoin leads this one rather than the other way around. Are the odds in favor of coin breaking out at resistance or heading back to support? I have a call, strike 250, expiration in middle of September. All right, so you basically bought the reference price. I do think that it will break out here. Momentum oscillators are also suggesting a little bit of upside continuation, and when you typically have that right at resistance, you probably will break through. It's looking good to me, man. It's looking good. No, we don't see it, Justin. For the love of God, just fucking copy and paste it. Yeah, I don't see it either. Just please copy and paste it, man. Please, just copy and paste it into the chat, and we'll get to it. It'll make it significantly more easy because it didn't pop up with the initial question, man. I hope that you do understand. Okay, what else we got over here? Chester Adlin says, thoughts on super farm, super price action. As best you can. Are we seeing a rounded bottom? When moon, sir, based off price action? Okay, so this is symbol super. Okay, USD. All right, let's see what we got here. Do we have a rounded bottom is the first part of this. A little bit, yes. Do we have a major low in here? It's hard to know, man. Justin, oh my fucking God. I think we're being trolled now. I think we're being trolled. Seriously, man, just fucking copy and paste it. God damn it. It's hard to tell on the weekly. I don't think there's enough information on the weekly. On the daily, it does look good for some short-term upside, though. Wouldn't be surprised to see this thing trade back up somewhere around about $1, right around here. It actually looks pretty decent here. You have a nice higher low in the actually pretty much already confirmed, which is a very easy management point, meaning 65 cents. So as long as you're above about 65 cents, I give it. I go with the current daily trend. We do have a reversal right here. Volume signature is confirming of a change of behavior. I generally be looking for a test back up towards about $1. Again, probably going to depend upon what Bitcoin and Ethereum do, but below this region right here, I actually would look for this rally to fall apart. I don't think that's what's happening, but that would be my condition for that. Okay. Let's see. What else did I miss over here? I think I missed one more, and we're still waiting on you, Justin. Justin! Maybe it's getting like auto modded. Maybe it's like one of the scam tokens. YouTube might be auto modding it. Just want to say thanks. I got in and out of UTK Bitcoin before the stream ended. Look at the hourly. Oh shit. What do we have here? All right, let's see. Oh, that TA bullshit's working. Holy shit. Not bad. Jesus, man. That was that happened faster than expected. What the fuck, man? That was quick. Not bad. Nicely done, sir. All right, Justin, we're going to, like space it out. Maybe there's like a keyword in there that YouTube doesn't like or something, so they're automatically deleting it. That can happen sometimes. Oh, old YouTube motorboat. Yeah, getting motorboated right now. All right, we're just gonna wait for Justin right here, and hopefully. There it is. Okay, I wanted to ask about XRP. Plan to long 2x. What do you're gonna long 2x margin? Okay, that. I hate to say it, but just the way that you pose that question immediately screams to me this is a bad idea, because if you're thinking about leverage levels in that regard, that is just not the right way to be doing it. I feel very strongly about that. But anyways, okay, let's see. I plan to long 2x, asking about a range if there's a pullback. Okay, so basically the question is XRP good? Look, it basically, to ask if XRP is good, and most altcoins just in general, is to basically ask if Bitcoin and Ethereum are good right now. And I do have a general upside bias on them, but this one's very easy right here. 69, what is this? Basically 69.5-cent low. As long as you're above there, I do generally look for this one to trade to the upside, probably somewhere back around about 80 cents around the 200 simple. If it can close above there, I would be looking for a greater move towards about 95 cent. Range short term, though, if that's what you're asking, is just this, man. But look, if you're thinking about leverage in terms of like, I go 2x because I'm feeling not that confident, or I go 10x because I'm feeling very confident, or whatever the fuck, that is not the way to use leverage, man. You don't use leverage in that sense. You don't use leverage in a sense of like, oh, I'm using 2x leverage because I want my liquidation price to be far away. That is bullshit. That is garbage. And I say that I say that with love, because if you're using your goddamn liquidation price to manage your risk, you are, one, certainly not going to be optimally doing it, and two, it's just a really bad habit to get into. It's just a really fucking bad habit to get into. I can tell you that from my experience in trading professional markets, we only ever had access to cross leverage, and that's because you're expected to manage your fucking risk. So to me, that's a big red flag. But if you're talking about the short-term time frames, ranges between 70 cents and basically 76 cents. And yeah, it looks okay here. Again, assuming that Bitcoin continues on, which I think that it will. All right, cool. All right, let's wrap this bitch up, sirs and zers. Let's do it right now, and let's see what else we got going on. What is going on right there? All right, you want to look at Tomo really quickly, or look at Tomo last one, bar nothing else. All right, Tomo, good. It's going up. 4 hour. Actually, this is one of the stronger altcoin charts. This is actually one of the better altcoin charts, funnily enough. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, it's already kind of spiked here. 325 high. Bullish as long as you're above 265. I'd generally be looking for it to give another try towards 3.25 to 330. Looks good. Okay, cool. All right, back on Bitcoin. Let's just wrap this whole thingy-mabob up. As long as Bitcoin's above, you're basically $38,000 on a closing basis now. I do look for this one to give another spike back up to about 42,500. The big thing to me is coming into the weekly closure for CME. Do we close anywhere above 41,200? If so, I would be looking for next week to very likely make a move into the deep $40,000 territory, like 45 to 47-ish region. So where I'd be looking towards somewhere around this blue box between about the 0.5 and the 618. That is 45.5 to 48, 48.5 to 49. Quite the range right there, but it is quite the move as well. Any sort of a daily closure today on CME, either above 41, let's just call it 41, let's just call it 41.3. It's easier to say right there, or just a spike higher than our 41,950 high on the 30th of July, and I would be looking for that move. Short-term target would be 43,500, very likely a short-term pullback right there, and then continuation probably like next week or the week after that into this region right here, and I would be looking for a greater pullback after that region, assuming that we actually do hit it. But again, still needs to be confirmed. Again, anywhere above 30th of July, that's a more aggressive way, or a closing high above about 41.3 or 41.4 if you want to be super conservative there. Anyways, with that said, it's been an absolute pleasure. I need to sign off. I have many things to do today, but I want to thank you for joining in. It's been a good time. Elsa's giving you a wave in the background there too. Enjoy the outro tunes, and thank you for joining in. Take care, and hopefully see you soon.
Write it, code it, name it, tweet it, mine it, stack it, live it, dream it, post it, scan it, charge it, send it, do it, and receive it. Trade it, buy it, sell it, store it, run it, list it, first rename it. Crypto logic. Pump it, hack it, lose it, dump it, sell it, ditch it, XR pitch it, copy, paste it, nudge it, test it,